What's up, punks? Welcome back to another video, and today I deleted a three-point shot in the entire NBA. Threes are now gone, and you may notice everybody has a F three-point rating. They're all at 25, and you may notice a lot of players' ratings are changed a lot. Some aren't, but some are changed by a lot. Like, a person who hasn't really changed is Giannis. He may have gone down just by a little bit, but he's now the best player in the NBA overall-wise because his three-point rating isn't too high, and it's Giannis. He does everything else. Does everything else perfectly without shooting threes, and he's won MVPs without shooting a lot of threes. And then there's LeBron, who went down by 2, and then there's players like Nikola Jokic, who went down to a 92 overall. I mean, he's not the greatest three-point shooter of all time, but he still went down by 4 overalls. Jason Tatum went down 4 overalls. Kawhi went down like 2. Luka went down like 5 overalls. He was, what, a 96 or something like that? Or 97? I think he was a 96 or 97. So he went down like 5 or 6 overalls. But the biggest one is going to be Steph Curry. Where is Steph Curry at? KD is now an 88 overall. Players like these got changed a lot. Players who shoot a lot of threes, their overall went down a lot. Like Dame's 88. De'Aaron Fox went down to Domantas Sabonis. De'Aaron and Domantas Sabonis are like 89s right now. Paul George down to, has he always been an 87? I think he has been. But Steph Curry is down to an 87 overall when he's been like a 96. He went almost down 10 overalls. And then you could look, well, I'm going to go through each team, and we're going to see what team got impacted the most. Philadelphia stays relatively the same. Well, not really, actually. I mean, James Harden goes down by like 5 overalls. Tyrese Maxey goes down. And then PJ Tucker goes down, and everyone else. Like, this team isn't super. I mean, Furkan Korkmaz goes down. He's a 67 overall now. And then that's it for the 76ers. Bucks are still relatively good. I mean, they're still amazing because they have Giannis. Drew Holiday is an 86. Brook Lopez, he's an 84. Chris Middleton went down by a little bit. He could shoot the 3-ball. Same with Bobby Portis. And then a lot of other players on this team. They may not have a lot of depth now because they had a lot of solid shooters. Maybe like Joe Ingles was a pretty good. I mean, he's Joe Ingles. So I also removed all of their shooting badges as well, and I lowered all their tendencies and these sliders, the game sliders. So I try to minimize 3-point shooting as much as possible. If the players still shoot threes, that's the game's fault. The Bulls. DeMar's down to an 84. I mean, he shoots mid-range shots. I don't know why he would be affected by this. Maybe because his badges went down too. Vooch is down. Zach LaVine is down by a lot. He was like an 86 or 87, so he's down like 5. And everyone else is on this team. I mean, the Bulls, I'm a Bulls fan, and they cannot shoot threes at all. I'm watching the game against the Lakers right now. It's Wednesday. They play them on Sunday, and they just had a horrible first quarter. Vooch was the only person who scored, and I think Kobe White had 2 points. Vooch had the other 15 or something like that. And they didn't make and the entire other team didn't make a shot. They didn't make any threes. Vooch actually made 1. Vooch made a 3, and then Vooch carried the first quarter. They were down by 20, and then now they're up. It's the second quarter right now, and they're the Bulls are up by there's a minute 55 left in the second quarter. If you're watching this game, and you're watching it exactly right as I'm watching it, which you're probably not because this video is going to be up probably when the game is over, probably, maybe, or towards the end. But it's almost the end of the second quarter. It's 51-49, and the ref is doing an official review. I have the volume all the way down, the mic doesn't pick it up. So I don't know what's going on really. And they're talking about LeBron James and all of that. And then for the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell goes down, Darius Garland goes down, and a few other players go down, but you could see these drastic changes. I'm going to skim through the league, and then you could see these players that go down, and I want you to put who you think is going to win the finals championship, despite the 3-point line being gone. I'm just going to skim through. You could see all the teams that got affected the most. Lauri Markkanen goes down 6 overalls. I know he was an 86. I know he went down 6 overalls. Kevin Herter. He went down a little bit. He was like an 82. He went down almost 8 overalls or something like that. Yeah, Jalen Brunson goes down 6 overalls. You could look at the Lakers. They look the same. It doesn't matter. Yeah, all you could look at all these are Luka's. Luka's gonna be crazy. I mean, he could still go to the basket, score. He could shoot mid-range if he really wanted to, but a lot of his game, I'm not gonna say anything. I mean, Kyrie goes 84 overall. I mean, Luka is able to hit the 3 very good. Mikal Bridges is an 85. He didn't go down by a whole lot. He has a very good mid-range game, and his 3s are still pretty solid. And then Jamal Murray, he's a 79 right now. Tyrese down to an 86. Why is my thing not working? Why is 2K so slow? I'm pressing the buttons. I was literally pressing the buttons and 2K was not working for a second. It's being very slow right now. I don't know why. Zion doesn't shoot anyway, so he wasn't affected. Brandon Ingram was, though. CJ McCollum was. Cade was. He was affected a little bit. I'm just going to skim through the rest of the teams, and then, yeah, I want you guys to put who's affected the most, and then who's going to win the NBA championship, despite the three-point line, and all threes being gone. The three-point line's still there, just players aren't shooting. Look at this. Cat, he's one of the best shooting bigs of all time, and he went down to like an 84. He went down to an 84. And then here's the last couple teams. This one is crazy. Steph and Clay. Clay's down to 79 overall, which is crazy. And then Kristaps and Bradley Beal. Yeah, they're alright. I'm gonna start simulating. Let's see the first game. Players are still gonna shoot threes, somewhat threes. Like, okay, 0 threes. Tyler Hero 26 points, Jimmy Butler had 14 assists, and then the Bulls, nobody attempted the 3, so that's good. Has anybody in the league made any threes? I just want to see, or attempted any threes. Let's see, did Zion at 45? Alright, alright, so people are like, okay, there's been 1 3-pointer made this entire video, or this entire league so far, and that's from Damian Lillard. And he's the only one who's made a 3-point shot this entire. I mean, it's only been 1 game, but I'm gonna go 2 weeks. I'm gonna see what's going on around the league, and I'm just gonna see if players are shooting threes at all. Like Steph Curry's still averaging 30 points a game, 32 points a game, and he's shot 13 threes, and he's made 1 3-pointer, and it's averaging 32 points a game. Dame is averaging 27 a game. Freddie's averaging 16. Jimmy Butler's averaging 25. 14% from 3. Alright, yeah. So 13 threes. I'm trying to minimize this as much as possible. I took down all their shooting badges and all the tendencies. Look, if I go to like 25, I could even lower it to make sure. I'll do this again. I'm lowering the button. I'm just looking at the score, and Lakers are up now by 6 points. And in the last minute, they scored like 9 points or something like that. All right, and then if I go to tendencies, 3-point shot. Where is it? I don't want anybody shooting. So yeah, nobody's shooting threes. I changed all of this. Nobody's shooting. But so if they shoot threes, that's their fault. It's probably just buzzer beaters and all of that, or something like that, or end of possession. I don't know. So I'm gonna go to the end of the season, or I'm gonna go to the All-Star. I'm gonna go to the All-Star game and show you guys if there's any different All-Stars, or if there's any players that, you get it. I'm gonna go to the All-Star break. We're at the All-Star break. Everything looks relatively the same. I mean, we got Ja being a starter. We got Cat being an All-Star. Tyrese. We got Domantas Sabonis. Bam. Darius Garland. Everything's the same at the All-Star weekend and all of that. All the teams look the same. Jimmy Butler's here. And let's look at the league stats for who's averaging the most points. Ja is averaging 37 points a game, 6 rebounds, 11 assists per game, on 66% from the field, and he's making 14 shots a game, and he's attempting to, and he hasn't even attempted 3-pointers. Who's attempting the most threes? Dame is attempting the most 3-pointers, which is 2 a game, and he's shooting 10% from 3 because he's not making any threes. And who is, alright, let's see actually who's made the most threes actually. I need to see the amount, just regular stats. So Dame has made the most threes. He's made 11 out of his 101 threes attempted. So the players are still going to attempt threes. I just want to reduce it. And Dame has also attempted the most threes. And Steph Curry's second with 81 threes. He's made 4 out of his 81 threes. All right, let's look at the top guys. Actually, I want to see who's like leading in scoring. Actually, so Shea's averaging. I forgot to turn injuries off. That sucks. Shea's averaging 33 and 10. Luka's averaging 33, 9 and 13 assists. Jason Tatum's averaging 33, 9 and 5. Trae Young's averaging 31 and almost 14 assists a game. That's crazy. Giannis still finding a way. I mean, it's Giannis. He's gonna do what he does. 30 and 10 and 7. Bradley Beal, he's up there. He's averaging 30 and 5.5. LeBron 29, 8 and 8.5. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards averaging 26 a game, and Damian Lillard. Those are the top scorers. What about rebounders? Rebounders, Giannis's. I'll go over top 5. Giannis, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Top 3 in assists or rebounds a game. And then I didn't mean to do that. Joel Embiid and Rudy Gobert are top 5 in rebounds. What about assists? James Harden, I'll round up. 14 assists per game, while also averaging 28 points a game. Trae Young, 13 assists per game. Chris Paul, 13. Luka, 13. Tyrese, 12.5 assists per game. What about steals? Jimmy Butler, 2.5. Shea, Tyrese, Luka. Lonzo and Luka. What about blocks? Walker Kessler, 3 blocks a game. Jaren Jackson Jr., 3 blocks. Miles Turner, 3 blocks. All these guys. Mark Williams, 3 blocks a game. And he's coming off the bench for a majority of the season. Fouls. We don't need to see fouls, but Nick Richards is averaging 4 fouls a game. Who's shooting the most efficient? Zion. He's shooting the most efficient, 72% from the field. There's so many look at this. If Jordan Poole is shooting 65% from the field, you got to know something's wrong with this video. If Jordan Poole is shooting 65% from the field, there must be baddies on every single courtside seat, because if you know there's them in the courtside, Jordan Poole's playing the best that he can. So you know what's going on there. If Jordan Poole's averaging 20 a game on extremely well efficiency, and then Shea's up there. Donovan Mitchell's up there, LeBron's up there. Even like a ton of guards are shooting over 60% from the field, like Anthony Edwards. There's still centers and like power forwards. Miles Bridges, he's averaging 16. Alright. Anthony Simons, over 60%. What about we don't need to look at anything else. Let's get to the end of the season, and we're gonna see how this affects the NBA. I mean, you've seen. I guess players are scoring more if the 3-point line is gone. If that makes sense to you, I don't think it does to me. But we'll see. We'll see who wins the championship. I want you guys. Hopefully, you put your predictions down below in the comments by now, because hopefully you don't just see who wins the championship and say, "Oh, I predicted that." Yeah. Hopefully you understand what I just said. That didn't make any sense, but well, I think it did. But yeah, if you're still here, might as well hit the sub button, because we just hit 300 subscribers. We just hit that mark like yesterday. Today's Wednesday, the 29th, and we just hit the mark of 300 subscribers. We're at 302 right now, right as when I'm recording this, and that is great. That is amazing. So hit the sub button. Our next goal is 400 subs. So let's get to 400 subs. That's my next sub goal, and thank you for 300 subs. Thank you. And that's all I gotta say. Luka, MVP, just his normal numbers, but increased assists. He averaged a triple-double with 33 points, 13 assists. Jaden Ivey averaged 20 and 6 assists. Isaiah Jackson, 6 Man of the Year, 15 and 5.5. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Alperen Sengun, 14 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. His Most Improved Player, and then Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year, and then Jacob Park is Executive of the Year. Here's the All-NBA teams. We got Luka, Ja, LeBron, Giannis, and Nikola Jokic on the first team. And then we have Shea, James Harden, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Joel Embiid on the second team. And then the third team, we have Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle, and Anthony Davis. And then defensive team, we have Luka. I don't know why he should be here. I mean, it's Luka. I mean, his defense isn't... I mean, his defense does not make him an all-NBA first team, all-defensive first-team player. It's not that good. Luka's not that crazy on defense. You should understand that if you watch basketball, he's not an all-defensive player. I mean, he could get there, but he's not an all-defensive first-team player. He's nowhere close to that. Well, I wouldn't say nowhere close to that, but he's, like, average at defense. I mean, it's gotten better over the years, but it's like... what do they have as defense? Perimeter defense A-, and then post defense B-. I don't know. What do they have his stuff at? Maybe he'll get like... Alright, if you can get steals in basketball, that does not mean you're a good defender. Alright, if you could average 2 steals a game, that does not mean you're the best defender out there. Like, what's his steal and what's his block? Or something. Let's look at that. It's interior defense 66, perimeter defense 75, steal 71, block 52. Those attributes should not make him an all-defensive first-team player. Alright, let's just move on now. Let's look at the standings. I went on my little tangent, so there we go. In the East, Philadelphia is number 1, and then Atlanta, Boston, Cavs, Milwaukee, Washington are the top 6, and then a play-in, it's Chicago, Miami, Detroit, and Toronto. These teams don't matter because they're not going to be playing for anything. And then in the West, Lakers are number 1, and then Memphis, Dallas, Phoenix, New Orleans, and Oklahoma are the other 5 of the top 6. And then in the play-in, it's Sacramento, Denver, Minnesota, and the Clippers. And then the Warriors, Portland are not in there. I mean, they're not doing the... I mean, Warriors have somewhat picked it up a little bit, but they're above 500 now. But yeah, they're still having a little bit of a down season considering they won the championship literally last season, and now they're in the play-in or something like that. All right, let's get out of the first. Actually, I didn't even look at like who is like averaging the most. I mean, I stopped at the All-Star break, but still, Ja averaging 36 and 11. Here's the top 5 in points averaged, rebounds, and then assists. You could look at these, steals, blocks. There you go. And Walker Kessler cooled it down a little. I mean, where's Walker? He cooled it down a little bit. He was leading the league in blocks, but he got traded to Detroit for maybe Jalen Duren or something like that. All right, let's get to the playoffs now. You saw the top 5 in each stat. If you pause the video and go look, the Bulls were eliminated. They were the 7th seed. They were in the play-in, I think. Yeah, they were. They beat Miami. So now in the second round, it's Philadelphia versus Cleveland, Atlanta versus Boston, New Orleans. I mean, in the West, New Orleans versus Minnesota, Memphis versus Dallas. So there's only 1 seed left. It's the 5 versus 8, 2 versus 3, and then 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. So let's get to the conference finals and see what's going on here. So it's Philadelphia versus Atlanta, and then Dallas versus New Orleans. And Zion versus Trae Young in the NBA Finals. Pelicans versus Hawks. Who will win? Game 1 goes to the Hawks. Game 2 goes to the Pelicans. Game 3 goes to the Pelicans. Game 4 goes to the Hawks. Game 5 goes to the Hawks. And the Hawks take the championship. Trae Young, who's... DeJounte Murray takes Finals MVP. I was going to say something about Trae Young. DeJounte Murray averaged 25.5 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and 3 steals a game, shooting 55% from the field, and he shot 4% from 3 in the playoffs and 7% from 3 in the regular season. So, yeah, that's what we wanted in this video. And Trae Young, where is he? Where's Trae Young? Where's Trae Young? Did he get injured? Alright, is Trae Young... I'm just going to assume that he's injured, alright? I'm going to assume that Trae Young is injured. Right, yeah. Yeah, he played 3 minutes. Yeah, he got injured. Well, Trae Young, he's an 80 overall. An 80 overall, averaging 31 and 14. I didn't even look at his overall, but that's crazy. A guy who relies his three-point... Like, his game relies on three-pointers mostly, for the most part. Not all of it, for the most part. his game is, he could shoot threes very well. He's down to an 80 overall, and DeJounte Murray led the team to a championship. But all right, that's all we got for you guys today. So if you like this content, make sure you watch my other videos and leave a like on this video. Go leave a like on all the other videos. That's the thing. And one thing I want you to do is hit the sub button, because if you weren't paying attention, I recently hit 300 subscribers on this channel, which is a big mark. We're getting close to 500 subs, and that's going to be another big mark. So my next sub goal is 400 subs. Let's get to 400 subs by the end of what's the next month? April, May, something like that. I don't know. Let's look at my calendar. Yeah, April. By the end of April, let's get to 400 subs. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.